After the one-shot of Goten and Trunks was recently released, and since they don't want to overshadow Dragon Ball Daima, which is still in the spotlight due to recent events, they decided to save a surprise for the future of the Dragon Ball Super manga. And as always, this involves a lot of fighting. But this time, for the second consecutive time, he needs to prove once again that he is on a whole different level. That's right, Frieza makes a full comeback and puts his plan into action. And woe to anyone who stands in his way. Want to understand what's about to happen? Then step aside for Frieza and make sure you're subscribed to this channel, leave a like, and activate the notification bell. Share this with more friends, because today, the battle is going to be intense. Frieza has been incredibly strong lately, and because of that, we can see how the entire Granola saga unfolded, which we will recap later in the video. But for now, all we need to know is that Frieza is indeed on a level above Goku and Vegeta, and that's no secret, whether people like it or not. Even so, we still don't know the full extent of his abilities, or what he can truly do in his newest form, Black Frieza. He has always been known for his power, ever since the early days of Dragon Ball Z, when he made his first appearance. But he had already been part of the Dragon Ball universe, as he was responsible for destroying planet Vegeta, the Saiyan homeworld, back when Goku, Vegeta, Raditz, and Nappa were still kids. Now, if he has gotten this strong after only training recently, even if it was 10 years in the hyperbolic time chamber, imagine if he had been training since back then. If he had been evolving through battles like the Saiyans do. The reason he never did this was simply that there was no one on his level. And let's be honest, he didn't even need to. In terms of the timeline, that would mean approximately 32 years of training. And Frieza would likely be at the level of a god of destruction like Beerus, or even beyond him. In the manga's chronological timeline, the time that has passed from the beginning of Dragon Ball to the current events in Dragon Ball Super is considerable. Let's break it down into key moments to understand it better. Dragon Ball starts with Goku as a child, around 12 years old. During this phase, he meets Bulma and embarks on his first quest for the Dragon Balls. Dragon Ball Z begins about 5 years after the end of Dragon Ball, when Goku is about 23 and his son Gohan is 4. Throughout Dragon Ball Z, we go through the Saiyan saga, the Frieza saga, the Cell saga, and the Majin Buu saga, covering a significant period of time. By the end of Dragon Ball Z, there is a 10-year time skip after Majin Buu's defeat, leading to Goku meeting Ub at the World Martial Arts Tournament, with Goku being around 44 years old. Dragon Ball Super begins shortly after Majin Buu's defeat, specifically 6 months after the final events of Dragon Ball Z. Throughout Dragon Ball Super, we go through several sagas, including the Battle of Gods, the resurrection of F, the Champa Tournament, Goku Black, the Tournament of Power, and the Moro saga. Each of these sagas happens in quick succession, but overall, Dragon Ball Super covers a span of a few years. So, from the beginning of Dragon Ball to the current end of Dragon Ball Super, about 30 years have passed in the manga's chronological timeline. All of this is to emphasize that Frieza lost a lot of potential training time. Yet, despite everything Goku went through in terms of training, he still lost to Frieza, who only trained for 10 years. And let's not forget that Goku also spent a significant amount of time training in Kami-sama's hyperbolic time chamber. But Frieza went ahead and broke the limit, proving that he is truly the most evolutionarily advanced species in Universe 7, the one whose potential is at the highest level. And in this new saga, he's coming with full force to put his plan into action. Anyone who stands in his way is going to take a serious beating. Could we even see him face off against Gohan or Broly? That's still unknown, but knowing Goku as we all do, he will definitely want a rematch. And here's the key factor. Frieza spared Goku and Vegeta, claiming that he had put aside their rivalry. But I believe it was because he wanted to reach the highest level, with an insane plan that might even involve killing a god. Could Beerus actually be on his hit list? Maybe his plan in this new saga is to abolish the system of gods, or become one himself. His true goal is still uncertain, but it could be that he understands the Saiyans' ability to evolve and is keeping them alive to have worthy opponents to test his powers before attempting to kill Beerus. Based on this, how do you think things will unfold? If you said he would win, I absolutely believe it, and Goku would take a serious beating. This time, I think Frieza would go all out, even to the point of killing him. After that, it would be Vegeta's turn, and the sequence would continue. What are the main differences between Frieza in the past and Frieza now? Frieza, one of the most iconic villains in Dragon Ball, has undergone a significant transformation from his first appearance to the current events of Dragon Ball Super. Initially, Frieza was the Emperor of Universe 7, known for his cruelty and unmatched power. He ruled with an iron fist, destroying planets and subjugating entire races. His confidence in his own strength was absolute, to the point where he believed himself to be invincible. During the Namek Saga, Frieza showcased his power by fighting Goku and the Z Fighters. Even after going through multiple transformations, he ultimately met his defeat when Goku, transforming into a Super Saiyan for the first time, managed to take him down. However, that was not the end of Frieza. In Dragon Ball Super, Frieza returns with newfound determination. After being resurrected by his followers, he realizes that despite his natural strength, he never actually trained to refine his abilities. This revelation motivates him to undergo an intense period of training. In just 4 months, he achieves a new form called Golden Frieza. This transformation exponentially increases his power, making him one of the strongest beings in the universe. The contrast here is clear. The original Frieza relied solely on his innate power, believing training was unnecessary, while the modern Frieza understands the importance of training and continuous growth. Beyond just power, Frieza's experiences have also shaped his behavior and strategies. The old Frieza was impulsive and overconfident, often underestimating his opponents. He was arrogant, believing that no one could challenge him. In contrast, Dragon Ball Super's Frieza is more cautious and strategic. He has learned not to underestimate his enemies, especially Goku and Vegeta. This new approach is evident during the Tournament of Power, where Frieza joins the Z Fighters to represent Universe 7. While his intentions are not entirely altruistic, he understands the importance of teamwork and strategy to achieve his goals. Another important aspect of Frieza's evolution is his relationship with Goku. In the past, Frieza saw Goku as nothing more than an insignificant insect who dared to challenge his authority. However, after multiple confrontations and defeats, Frieza begins to respect and even fear Goku's potential. This reluctant respect is evident when he, despite his hatred, allies with Goku to face common enemies. Even though this alliance is temporary and based on convenience, it showcases a maturity and understanding that the original Frieza did not possess. Frieza also demonstrates a deeper understanding of power and politics in the universe. He is no longer just interested in destruction and conquest, but in manipulation and influence. He begins to see the value of alliances and negotiation, something he never considered during his initial reign. This new Frieza is more of a strategist, using his intelligence and experience to achieve his goals more efficiently and effectively. One of the most significant demonstrations of his evolution is seen when Frieza gets involved in the fight against Broly. He quickly realizes that he cannot defeat Broly in a direct battle, and instead focuses on surviving and manipulating the circumstances to his advantage. His ability to recognize when he cannot win directly and adapt his tactics accordingly is proof of his maturity and evolution as a warrior. Furthermore, Frieza's evolution is evident in his ability to learn from his mistakes. He understands that arrogance and underestimating his opponents were his greatest flaws in the past. In Dragon Ball Super, Frieza is more self-aware and uses this awareness to become an even more formidable adversary. He maintains his cruelty and thirst for power, but with a more refined and calculated approach. In summary, the key differences between the old Frieza and the current one are rooted in his experience, training, and strategic evolution. The original Frieza was arrogant, impulsive, and relied on his innate power, while the modern Frieza is more cautious, strategic, and understands the importance of training and continuous development. His relationship with Goku has evolved from mere disdain to reluctant respect. These changes have not only made Frieza more powerful, but also a much more complex and dangerous opponent in the Dragon Ball universe. That being said, all of this, along with his vast superpower, is more than necessary for his plans. So, yes, Goku is going to take a beating, as will Vegeta, but I don't think he will actually kill them, because he needs those two to continue evolving, and so it will be, until one of them is truly satisfied. But from Goku's perspective, how could he overcome his defeat against Black Frieza? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Certainly, seeking training with Gohan in his beast form, or with Broly, would be an interesting strategy for Goku, offering new perspectives and challenges that could help him overcome his loss to Black Frieza. Training with Gohan in his beast form provides Goku with a unique opportunity to face an opponent who has reached the peak of his hidden potential. Gohan Beast is the embodiment of Gohan's latent power, manifested through an intense transformation that maximizes his combat abilities. By training with Gohan, Goku could learn to handle a fighting style that combines intelligence and brute strength in an exceptional way. Gohan has always been a strategic fighter, using his intelligence and quick situational analysis to gain an advantage in battles. Training with him would allow Goku to develop new tactics and techniques, as well as improve his ability to adapt quickly during fights. Just as Gohan broke past his Ultra Instinct, Goku could use this experience to learn how to counter it, something that someone on Frieza's level could easily do. On the other hand, training with Broly would be a completely different experience. Broly is a warrior with immense and uncontrollable power, driven by rage and brute strength, making him one of the most powerful Saiyans ever seen. During the events of Dragon Ball Super, Broly, Goku, and Vegeta faced an immense challenge fighting Broly, who showed the ability to adapt and grow in power during battle. Training with Broly would allow Goku to face an overwhelming and uncontrollable force, forcing him to find ways to overcome not just raw power, but also the unpredictability and intensity of the fight. Goku could learn a lot by training with Broly, especially about maintaining calm and control in extreme situations. Moreover, Broly is also on a path of self-discovery and learning, seeking to understand and better control his own power. This shared journey of growth and self-awareness could strengthen both warriors, allowing them to develop new techniques and abilities to face formidable opponents like Black Frieza. By integrating training with Gohan Beast and Broly into his routine, Goku would have a well-rounded and balanced approach to preparing for future challenges. He could combine Gohan's intelligence and strategy with Broly's brute strength and adaptability, creating a fighting style that takes advantage of both worlds. Additionally, this experience would give Goku a broader perspective on his own capabilities and limitations, helping him identify specific areas where he can improve. This collaboration with Gohan and Broly would not only help Goku increase his power and skills, but also strengthen the bonds between the Z warriors. Friendship and camaraderie play an important role in the Dragon Ball series, and training together would reinforce their team's spirit and mutual trust. By joining forces and learning from each other, Goku, Gohan, and Broly would become an even more formidable team, ready to face any challenge the universe throws at them. In summary, seeking training with Gohan Beast and Broly would be a highly beneficial strategy for Goku. By facing different fighting styles and unique challenges, Goku could develop new skills and techniques, improve his adaptability, and strengthen his relationships with his allies. This holistic approach would provide Goku with the necessary tools to overcome his defeat against Black Frieza and emerge even stronger and more prepared for future challenges. Of course, we can't forget about Vegeta and his Ultra Ego. While Goku could focus on increasing the strength of his attacks, Vegeta could enhance his defense. That would be epic too. Their partnership, which has lasted for years, now has everything it needs to finally surpass Frieza. We'll see what paths Dragon Ball Super takes in the future.